Hi guys, we're here with Andy Provenzano. He's going to answer some weather questions from viewers for us today. Hey Andy, how are you?
Hello, how's it going?
Good, a little bit soggy today.
Yeah, rain came in as expected. We get more, unfortunately. This is a weather pattern that's going to hang around for a while. There's no doubt about that.
Oh boy. All right, well, we have a lot of interest in weather stories today, especially since there was a tornado here in the viewing area earlier in the week. Our viewer Lori would like to know which Michigan counties have the most tornadoes every year.
There's a lot of them that are right up in those same kind of numbers. The further you away from the lake, you find the higher numbers. But certainly, because you have the influence of anything coming up out of Indiana, you get a stronger storm. They can be tornadic a lot easier. So when you get into Hillsdale, you get into parts of Ingham, and then off to Shiawassee County, those areas tend to have a little bit more. And the same thing for the northern part of the state. Those counties that are away from the lakes can be influenced more by stronger storms. So that's where you find them. The lakes tend not to help development of tornadoes, so the counties in and around the lake shores are way less.
All right, we have a comment here from someone you might remember. Jason Colthorpe says hi.
Oh.
And wants you to know he loves your tie.
Oh, thanks. Good to see he's still working.
All right. Another viewer, Clyde, would like to know when all of this humidity and rain that we've been seeing in the recent days is going to move out of the area.
I wish I could tell you what day that's going to happen, but unfortunately we're in this pattern that is going to come and go probably right through the end of the month. Day dry here, day dry there, but the jet stream's bringing all this moisture from the Gulf, also storms from the west, and the combination has got most of the nation wet. The only dry spots have been far west coast. The desert southwest and the southeast have been avoiding all of this, but everybody else is in the same boat we are, just too much rain. Don't look for changes, not this month. Maybe going into July we'll start to see a little more of a calmer summer pattern that we get so often around here.
All right, well that's good to know. And let me see. Viewer Randy would like to know how a tornado like the one in Shiawassee County developed without any warning.
Well, it can happen. We always say with any thunderstorm you can get gusty winds and the potential of tornadoes and that kind of thing. During that day there weren't much going on other than some scattered storms. Know that the tornadoes that we get here in Michigan are very small. They spin up very fast, and they're not always detectable by radar, nor do you, when you look at a normal day and say, okay, this is going to be a bad severe weather day, and you put those watches out. There are storms that don't reach that category, but they produce these little mesocyclones, tiny spin-ups. We get them along fronts, we get them along isolated thunderstorms, and that was the case in Shiawassee County. It spun up, and those winds got into a cylindrical form, and we ended up having a brief touchdown. Winds were not even about 65 miles an hour, the Weather Service estimates. We get stronger wind gusts in a normal thunderstorm, but those are always going to be very impossible to predict, or even by the time we would have put a warning out for that, it was long gone, it was done. So always know whenever you have bad weather that you have that potential. In the state of Michigan, we get these little ones that last a minute long, they're not even a quarter mile wide. On occasion we'll get one that stays on the ground for 5, 6, 7 minutes. That's a rarity, and to get them to go 20 minutes long like they'll see out in the Plain States doesn't happen very often.
All right, well, thanks very much. We have a viewer, Matthew in Chesterfield, who wants you to know he says hi. And Jason, again, is expressing some concern about your golf game, so maybe you can reassure him.
It is terrible. Since Jason, I've been out once. I know, and here we are headed into July. I need to be slapped around, I know.
All right, thanks again, Andy. We will see you next week with more Weather Wednesday and Ask Andy.